Good evening, ma'ams and sirs, and welcome to another edition of WWE RAW Recap Show, brought to you by RP2 Vision. I'm your host, Ronald Ray. And why not start this show off with a brawl between two of the biggest legit badasses in the company, and that being the almighty Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. Bobby Lashley grabs the mic and calls out for Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar comes out in all his cowboy gear and definitely takes his sweet time coming out. Bobby Lashley felt like he's waited too long, and he exits the ring to attack Brock Lesnar. Lashley is grabbed by Lesnar, who then throws him against the ring post and the aprons. Although Lashley slides off and sends Lesnar into the ring post, Lesnar lifts him for the F5 on the floor. Then Lashley pierces Brock Lesnar with a spear through the barricade. After that, the officials, coaches, and other wrestlers rush down the ring to try to break up Lashley and Lesnar. They attempt to push Lashley back up to the ramp, but Lashley pushes back through. Lesnar is stabbed onto the commentator table by Lashley after charging around the ringside area. It appears like it should have broken a table, but it didn't. Before Lashley swiftly knocks him through the table, they both fall to the ground and continue fighting. The cavalry again shows up, trying to break him up. People are yelling, "Bobby, Bobby, quit." Lesnar is left lying in anguish and pain. In the opening contest, we have a tag team match with the OC, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson with AJ Styles in their corner, and they took on Alpha Academy, Chad Gable and Otis. I do believe this is their first match on TV anyway for the OC since they came back. The Alpha Academy had things going their way, and it looked like Otis was going to put Carl Anderson away after he hit the avalanche. He was going for the Vader Bomb, but Carl Anderson wound up moving out of the way, made the hot tag to Luke Gallows, and of course the big man clean house. Towards the end of the match, Anderson did get back in the ring, was put in an ankle lock by Chad Gable when he was trying to fend off a moonsault by Gable. But in the end, Luke Gallows got back in the ring. They hit the Magic Killer on Chad Gable, and it gave the OC the win. After the match, the Judgment Day comes out, and Finn Balor throws up the Too Sweet sign, mocking the OC and AJ Styles, and starts claiming that he came up with the Bullet Club, and the Bullet Club was all his. If you don't know what the Bullet Club is, basically it was if the Generation X bumped uglies with the NWO and their child was the Bullet Club. And they're, big group, the group in Japan. It featured Finn Balor, then with Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson and a bunch of other members. Then, of course, when Finn left Japan, AJ Styles came in, became the leader, and so on and so forth. But anyway, they challenge the OC and AJ Styles to a 6-man tag for Crown Jewel coming up. They graciously accept, and this also set up a match between AJ Styles and Dominic Mysterio, with AJ telling Dominic he's going to give him something his daddy should have gave him a long time ago. The next match we have is the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Damage Control, Dakota Kai and Io Sky, as they went up against Candice LeRae and the Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair. The finish came with Bayley standing at the commentator's desk and grabs a kendo stick. Belair snatches Bayley's hair, and they start fighting outside the ring. Why the referee didn't say, "Hey, match over, disqualification, outside interference"? I guess I don't. I noticed. I noticed that happens a lot lately. But anyway, the tag team champions, Damage Control, get the victory by pinning Candice LeRae after a double team slam. Next up, we have the return of JBL. And let me tell you, he did not skip a beat. He knows how to turn up the heat. Cuts a scathing promo on Rey Mysterio, talking about how Rey Mysterio is a scumbag in JBL's eyes, and praises Dominic Mysterio, and finally realizing what a low-life father Rey Mysterio is. He then goes on to explain in the trade, since Rey Mysterio goes to SmackDown, Raw gets Baron Corbin. And he also goes on to explain that he won a competition for Baron Corbin, and Raw gives Baron Dolph Ziggler, a former world champion and a former Money in the Bank winner, plus all kinds of accolades, and explains that Dolph Ziggler and half the locker room couldn't have made it in the Attitude Era. There'd be ticket buyers just like all the fans in attendance. And of course, this begins the Baron Corbin Dolph Ziggler match, which Baron Corbin will win with the end of days. Next up, we have the conclusion of Oh My Knee featuring The Miz. The Miz is in the locker room talking about he's hurt. He thinks he needs surgery. Go ahead, put him out. Byron Saxton comes in, talks to him, and all of a sudden you hear somebody say, "Hey, look, it's Dexter Lumis." And of course, that being Johnny Gargano saying, "Oops, my bad. It's only Byron." And of course, this causes the Miz to stand straight up. Byron acknowledges that and say, "Hey, looks like your knee's better." And Miz says, "Hey, it must be my great DNA." But he's going to wind up hurting Dexter Lumis tonight. Next match features AJ Styles with the OC against Dominic Mysterio, and in his corner, the Judgment Day. I think I pushed the balls button, didn't I? Sorry. Anyway, thanks to some outside interference, of course, there was a melee out on the floor. AJ got himself involved as Mysterio was still in the ring with the OC and Judgment Day. When AJ was trying to get back in the ring, that devil woman, Rhea Ripley, grabbed on Styles' foot. He was able to shake her off, but Mysterio wound up sneaking behind him in a schoolboy roll. Surprise win, 1, 2, 3. Dominique winds up winning this match. Our next match was supposed to be The Miz against Dexter Lumis. However, it did not happen. When Dexter was coming out to the ring, The Miz attacks him with a chair. And as he got him down, he picked him back. The Miz picked Lumis back up for the skull crushing finale on the chair on the floor. And like I said, this match wound up not happening. Next segment. Next, we see the return of Elias. He is back and informs everybody that his brother Ezekiel's career is right now over. So he asks the crowd, are they ready to go back to walking with Elias? And he's about to play some songs for the crowd. Here comes Matt Riddle. And the only thing he wants to do is join in the fun and maybe play the bongos with them. But Elias said, hey, some other time. And this winds up bringing out Seth freaking Rollins. So as Seth was coming to the ring, they went to a commercial break. When we come back from a commercial break, they start the main event, which is Matt Riddle against Seth Rollins for Rollins United States Heavyweight Championship. Riddle goes on offense first, shining up really good. Rollins tries to get away, but Riddle says, not today. But once they get out of the ring, a few throat chops and stomps, and Rollins is back in control. The finish saw Riddle go for the RKO, only to be pushed into Elias, who just entered back in the ring. Curb stomp for the 1-2-3. And Rollins is still your United States Heavyweight Champion. But we were not done yet. Right after the match, Rollins hits Elias with a curb stomp as well. As Rollins is posing and strutting, Mustafa Ali enters the ring and takes out Seth Rollins. As Rollins is outside the ring, Ali hits this wild-looking suicide dive. Then he clotheslines him outside the barricade, and Rollins runs off. And a person that's standing up is Mustafa Ali, and say, "Hey, he is Seth Rollins' problem right now." And that is the end of this week's Monday Night Raw. It's just a Raw. That's all I'll say about that. Matt Riddle, of course, still tearing it up. Doesn't matter who he's facing. It's been good matches lately. The worst match he's had lately is the one with Seth Rollins in a fight pit match, which really wasn't that bad. It just was what it was. Damage Control, especially Dakota Kai and Io Sky, they've been impressing me a lot too. Mustafa Ali, I just feel I can't speak to all fans, but he seems a better fit as the never surrender, never die, never give up underdog. And I think fans right now see him as that too. The whole heel group cult leader that he was trying to be, don't think he was too ready for that. I mean, I've seen a couple of things, and it was a hard sell for me. But looks like we're getting ready for Crown Jewel, and 2 matches already been signed, and that is Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley, which should be a knockdown drag-out fight, and a 6-man tag with Judgment Day going against OC. And that does it for me this week. Hope to catch you guys later. You guys take it easy, and I'll catch y'all next time. And as always, like, subscribe, share. Tell them subscribe and like or dislike. I'm just kidding. I ain't hell dislike. Leave a comment. Tell what you guys think of this week's show. Let's bullshit about a little bit in the comment section. I have no problem with that. Anyway, folks, take it easy.